So, have you ever heard of that famous question? If you could have dinner with anyone, dead or alive, who would you choose? Well, I thought deeper into this question and I got you. If I could interview anyone in history of time, who would I choose? And I want you guys to answer this question. In your heads, of course. So, the first thing that probably came to you guys' mind was probably Albert Einstein, Michael Jackson, Napoleon Bonaparte. He's everywhere, isn't he? And most importantly, what would you ask them? Since I was little, I've loved history, but I always had so many unanswered questions, and I know I wasn't the only one to have those questions. Like, what did people around them think? So did they even realize the impact they will have in the future? Because so often, history reduces people into a few lines in a textbook, but no one is just that. No one can fit into a paragraph, and by doing so, we fall into a single perspective, reducing entire lives into simplified narratives. Also, history usually only gives the spotlight to people who have made it, and ignoring countless lives of people who have lived through it. Ironically, we're also living through history right now, and one day we might end up just like them, summarized. So I started thinking again. What if we were about to discover the impact of people beyond the history books? What if we could interview people who have lived through history? Ordinary citizens, neighbors, co-workers. So today, I want to propose something to you guys. I'll play the role of a journalist in commanding interviews that never happened, but they should have happened, with ordinary people living through historical moments without even noticing. Because we often ask, how did they not notice the danger of this? How did they ignore many warning signs? But again, no one lives through history knowing they will be in a book. So, are you ready to travel through time with me? Okay, our first stop is in the United States. It's 1920s and the cars are becoming more popular, but there's a problem called knocking, where the engineer makes a weird sound and it is very less effective. But an engineer named Thomas Midgley Jr. thinks he has found all the solutions for this. After various experiments, he discovered that if he mixes threadettil with gasoline, well, all the problems seem to be solved. And let's see what ordinary people think about this. Good morning, ma'am. Do you know Thomas Midgley?
Oh, yes. His things are incredible. My car is running so much better now, without that strange rattling noise.
Well, and what do you think about his invention?
It's amazing. Engines are better, cars are more modern.
Well, does this invention impacted in your life? If yes, how?
It solved the transportation problems I had. Like I said before, my car doesn't make noise anymore, and the gasoline price has dropped a lot.
Well, thank you so much for this interview. So, we can see that most people approved his invention. But, after several years, a study named "The Men Who Harm the World the Most" came out, proving that these mix were lethal and caused many deaths and harm to the environment. Now, I think we can go to our next stop, right? So, our next stop is a little bit before that. We're in 5th century in Alexandria. Here we're talking about Hypatia. Again, just a brief introduction of her. She was a philosopher of astronomy. So, good morning, sir. So, what do you think of Hypatia?
I don't trust her very much.
Really? Why not?
She is so influential and spends a lot of time with powerful people. Some believe she is too much influence over the ordinary citizen.
Oh, really? But many students admire her.
I agree she's intelligent. However, intelligence doesn't automatically make someone trustworthy.
Thank you for your interview, ma'am. So, I think we can go, before we stop, I think we can go to another person. Now we're going to interview a teacher who might have a different opinion about her. Again, good morning. So, do you know Hypatia?
Yes, I admire her very much. She's one of the wisest people in the city.
Well, why do you admire her so much?
Because she dedicated her life to learning and teaching. Many of my students traveled miles just to attend her classes.
Well, and what is her reputation? What do people say about her?
Her knowledge of mathematics, astronomy, philosophy, and how she inspires people to think critically and seek for knowledge.
Well, have you ever met her personally to check the facts?
Yes, she was always respectful.
Well, okay, I guess you did have a really different opinion from the last one. But anyways, thank you. So, Hypatia was very admired for her knowledge and studies, while also other people feared her because of her extremely influence. This shows how people still view her till this day, because usually people have a different views of historical people. But, and thus, what are we living through right now without even noticing? Because maybe 100 years from now, people will look at us and say, how did they not notice the danger of social media? How did they not notice the danger of AI? How did they ignore so many warning signs? Because again, future always seems far away, until one day someone's write about it in a book. Thank you.